Let's go to Jack in Fort Worth, Texas, and see how he's doing. Hi, Jack. What's going on with you today?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Long story short, 10-year marriage, me and my wife are just having major issues communicating. I called you guys 3 years ago, and y'all told me to be the example of Jesus in her life that maybe she's not able to see anywhere else. And, thank God she's a Christian now and she's saved. But we are both struggling, and recently we've just gotten into arguments, and it stems from my desire to want to stop drinking and smoking. And not that I'm doing anything crazy, taking care of my family, but it's something that's touched my heart. And it's happened before where I brought it up, and it turns into, my wife saying, well, how are you going to look at me? How are you going to judge me? And I feel like it turns into her, and she doesn't care that I feel like I'm in bondage. And the most recent argument within a week ago was us having that same conversation, and it ended up with her punching me in the face.
Oh, my goodness.
And, what do you do as a guy? I'm physically stronger than her. I mean, it's just, but it's very pride. It hurts my pride. It hurts me. And I don't know how to get back into talking and communicating, because I feel like every time I try to communicate it she's real controlling, and I can never just express myself to her and have her understand it. It seems like she's always looking at through the lens of how is this going to affect her, instead of, me when I feel like I'm hurting. And I don't know. I don't know where to go from here and how to proceed. And I really want to save my family, and I know she does too, but I just don't see a genuine desire in her to change her communication skills. And maybe she is, but I just don't see a change, and we're both stuck there.
Jack, did you say you both struggle with alcohol issues? Did I hear that?
I have struggled more than her in the past,
okay.
But the thing she doesn't want to admit is that I know as an addict that she has a slight issue, and I know that because I am an addict, and my parents were addicts, and I've been to AA, and I know when someone drinks, 4 out of 7 days a week, and they got to have it, that's an issue. And I brought that up to her, and it gets focused back on me. And I say, well, hey, I want to quit. I've been wanting to quit, but I always get, basically yelled at and treated like, my issue is just going to bring attention to her issue or something.
Well, right, because when you both attracted, with this being one of your issues between you, right? And when you bring up, and I'm not sure why you're kind of asking your wife for permission to go get help for your drinking, right? Because you don't need her to be on board with that to actually do something about it. But of course she's going to resist. Of course, because if you get better, she's right. Light is shined on her. And if she's not ready to admit that she has a problem, or that needs to be something to be worked on, she's going to want to keep you tied into the same dynamic, because then she doesn't have to feel bad.
Yeah. Jim, you have a thought here?
Yeah, I do. Jack, okay. I think you're a great guy, but I think you said you'd been to AA. I think you need to work the program, lead. And if she doesn't like that, in some ways, that's just her, pushing back.
Her protest,
you take the lead, get involved in something like that. And then also, you talked about communication. One of my mentors, his name is Neil Clark Warren. He founded eHarmony. But what people don't know is he was a marriage expert. I remember one time he said to me in his office, Jim, communication is a learned trait. And I kept thinking, well, it's because my parents, or because my mom or dad, or something else. And you know what? It's a learned trait to communicate more effectively with your spouse. You've done it for 10 years, even in a troubled marriage. Latest research just said that, if you persevere for 5 years, 75% of the people will say that they have a better marriage. That's incredible. So I think you're a great guy. Take the lead. Take the lead no matter what she does. Don't respond to whatever her actions are. Take the lead. Get sober. You can do it. You are a very articulate man. And then watch her come your way. As time goes on. But it may not be easy, but nobody said it was going to be easy. But you can do that. I believe in you.
Well, and
Now-
in essence, it's similar advice that we gave you 3 years ago. And you did step up and become a leader, and you said she's become a Christian.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Bravo, that is great. So now you've got to do the same thing here. Stop talking about it and silently lead.
Now, when people become a Christian, it doesn't fix everything, but they do generally start to see things from a different perspective, and life gets gradually better. If they get into a discipleship group and they really do some great work, it gets better sooner. But in her case, look at where she is emotionally, and I don't think you're going to find any books on Amazon that talk about the slight little tiny baby alcohol problem. She doesn't have a slight alcohol problem. She has a severe alcohol problem, and the symptoms of that are showing up in your relationship with her. She doesn't have to be lying drunk out on the driveway for it to be severe. It is severely destroying your marriage. And so I would go from thinking slight alcohol problem to thinking amazing recovery that both of us could be doing together, surrendering to God the alcohol, surrendering our lives, and doing whatever it takes to submit to each other in oneness to Christ as Christians. And so I do think you going to meetings, great. I think anything that you can do to help her see there's a better way. I wouldn't ever mention her alcohol. I just go get my little alcohol problem taken care of and recover, and let her see the kind of life that you can live. She can live that with you. And if we could get you to intimacy in marriage in February on the 13th, I want to do it.